Welcome! Coming to you live from the vineyard. It's magic time. I'm your host, Thomas. Just coming here to the vineyard to shoot a little video about the Court of Master Sommeliers. And should you become certified with the Court of Master Sommeliers, do you want to be a sommelier and pursue that career? Number one, let's talk about that. It sounds so amazing to be a sommelier, so sophisticated and so wonderful to be able to pour wine for a living. But and it is, there's a lot of amazing perks with becoming a sommelier. I was a sommelier for many years and graced the stage of a 5-star, 5-diamond restaurant, and was in a big fancy steakhouse before, and I've done every part of the wine business. But definitely some of the coolest perks were involved with being a wine director and purchasing wine for a fine dining establishment and being quote unquote a sommelier. And I did get certified with the first and second level certifications with the Court of Master Sommeliers, and that is definitely something that I'm proud of, even though I didn't continue on with the program and do advanced and the master certificate or pursue that. And I have my reasons for that, which we can talk about in a little bit. But consider this, it is amazing, it's cool to be a sommelier, it has that cachet around the word, and it sounds like a really prestigious position. But if you are a sommelier and you are in the restaurant business, you are in the restaurant business, meaning that your lifestyle is going to have to agree with that. It's just like being a server, it's just like being a GM of a restaurant, in that you are at the restaurant at restaurant hours, and you are not with your family on holidays, and it is pretty much a 365 day a year occupation, and you have very little time off with your family, especially in the evenings. So if you're planning on being a family man or getting a family and having a lifestyle that's conducive to raising children, I would think twice about becoming a sommelier, just because of the fact that you go in, you do your wine purchasing, you do your tasting with your wholesale reps, you purchase all your wine that you need, and then you go into restaurant service and you pour wine all evening until the end of the night, and usually you're buffing glassware at the end of the night with the servers, and you're getting out of the building at either 12 o'clock a.m., 1 o'clock a.m., even 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes. So in terms of it being a glamorous position in that right, it really isn't. And so consider that before you pursue your certificates with the Court of Master Sommeliers, if you want to actually be a restaurant sommelier. Now, some people would just want to take the certificates to say they've passed it and they have credentials and they know about wine. Like, I have a very close friend of mine that is a tenured professor at a college and has no interest in being in the wine business whatsoever, or being in a restaurant ever again. He did that while he was in college or when he was very young, but he just wanted to take the exams, and good for him. And he passed them, and he became a certified sommelier with the Court of Master Sommeliers, and he did several other certificates as well. And that is notable, but it's also very expensive to do, and the costs that are associated with becoming certified with all these different organizations can be costly. Now, if you are wanting to pursue the sommelier life, I would definitely recommend the Court of Master Sommeliers. If you're pursuing a restaurant career, they're definitely focused a little bit more on service, the service portion of it, and they will polish you in the ways of performing as a sommelier in a fine dining experience. If you're wanting to just gain wine knowledge and you're planning on doing a career in retail or perhaps wholesale sales, there's the WSET program, which is a lot more book study and exam study, and there's also the Society of Wine Educators that does a certified program and is much more exam and book study, and not as much on the service side or the blind tasting side. Do I think it's worth it to become certified with the Court of Master Sommeliers? Yes, if you're pursuing the wine career. It's a prestigious organization and has very good reputation behind it. Do I feel that it's necessary to have your certification level 2 Somm with the Court of Master Sommeliers in order to be a successful wine retailer? No. Do I think that is important to have that certificate if you're going to be a successful sommelier on the restaurant floor? Not necessarily, but it'll definitely open the pathway and open your job opportunities so that you can actually become a wine director. But do I think that like it makes you a good sommelier? I think it polishes your skill set, and I think it polishes your knowledge and your ability to, on the fly, recommend wines and have a deeper understanding of wine and the different wine regions. But those are also things that you can learn in books. One good thing about the court and being under exam is that you're pressured into a situation where you have to exam, and you're spending your own money usually, or the money of your company to become certified. And so that pressure, just like college, when you're paying for your own college, makes you study harder, and it forces you to really learn and be prepared to take the exam. So overall, I think it definitely is worth it. In terms of the program, I don't think that it makes or breaks a sommelier. I don't think an advanced sommelier or a master sommelier makes you a good sommelier either. I think what makes you a good sommelier is your ability to connect with guests, to understand their palate, to be a good listener, and to be a really good businessman, and to procure a wine list that's not only behind your geeky wine palate, but a wine list that's going to sell and be agreeable to the public. I've always said you could fill your wine list full of all types of esoteric, wonderful wines from really geeky family-owned producers throughout all of the world, and then present it to your guests. And the people that actually spend a lot of money on wine, which might be business people that are less sophisticated about certain grape varietals or certain small regions around the world, might be looking at your list and saying, well, where the hell is the Duckhorn? Or where the hell is the Silver Oak or the Opus One? So I think it's good to have a mix of both worlds, things on your wine list that are eclectic and really cool and deliver an amazing price point. But I also think it's super important that you have a wine list in a restaurant that appeals to more than just the wine geek in the world, that also appeals to the businessman, that also appeals to the novice. So I think that's a very important thing. And those types of things, wine buying and procuring wine lists, you don't really learn that in the Court of Master Sommeliers. It's more about who you are as a person, how you communicate, and how you're able to connect with the guest and listen and hear what the public is wanting, so that way you can sell it. Because at the end of the day, what a sommelier is a businessman. And I can tell you for a fact that a restaurant, if it's going through peril and it's on the edge, the first person that they're going to say is disposable is the sommelier. Because the servers can sell wine off the wine list, the GM can sell wine off the wine list, but it takes a really good savvy businessman to be a successful sommelier, to where the company or the owner of the restaurant or the business says, I'm paying this guy this salary because he's worth it to me, and he is producing a list, and he's producing a service to my guests that is delivering me money. So above all, I believe that a sommelier has to be a really good businessman, and those are things you can't learn through the Court of Master Sommeliers. So I definitely agree that it's an important program if you're wanting to establish credential and become a wine professional in that capacity, but also that it doesn't make you a successful sommelier at the end of the day. Anyways, that's my piece. Hope you enjoyed the video here in Oakville amongst the vines, and as always, peace.